The state of Colorado is actually a really incredible travel destination, and it's located right here in the US. Molly just got back from Aspen, so obviously we wanted to debrief that trip, but she's also been to several other parts of the state, and she's lived and worked there before too. So if you are at all curious and what a vacation to Colorado might look like for you at any point of the year, summer, winter, fall, spring, listen into this episode right here. Hey y'all, I'm Bailie, the owner and founder of Be the Travel. It's the business I started to help bring my clients' dream travel bees to life. Whether they wanted to be inspired, be adventurous, be unplugged, or just be together with their loved ones in a beautiful destination, I wanted to serve them by taking the stressors of travel planning off of their plate. Right now, you're listening to Be the Travel Podcast, the place where I bring you my supplier and partner relationships, industry knowledge, and professional travel tips that I've accumulated along the way. Hopefully you'll listen in and find yourself even a little bit more inspired to create a travel bee of your own, whatever that might look like to you. So we do get asked a lot, do you guys at Be the Travel book trips within the US? And the answer is yes, we do. So if you guys need any help within the United States, still give us a call. We don't just do outside of the country trips. One part of the states that we actually probably do the most of is the West. And it's a really attractive place for travelers because you can go in both the summer and the winter and get two completely different experiences. And Molly, she just got back from a little place called Aspen. Tell us about it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. So I've been to Colorado a handful of times in the past, but I had never been to Aspen before. And I actually have a good friend of mine that lives out there for this winter season. She's working on the mountain. So I was like, heck yeah, perfect excuse to go out there
Yeah.
and do a little skiing and a little hotel visits and all that good stuff. So I had so much fun. It was awesome.
Yeah, it looked fun. Your pictures and videos and everything. What was Aspen like? Because I've never been. How does it compare to other ski towns?
Yeah, so it's really cool because it definitely to me feels a lot bigger and a little bit more spread out than some of the other ski towns that I've been to. So like they have the downtown Aspen area, which is super cute and it's very like walkable. You've got tons of restaurants and shops and all of that right there. I definitely say that, especially when it comes to like the shopping and the restaurants and stuff, it definitely gears towards a higher end clientele, I would say, just based on, walking around, like you're going to see, Chanel and Rolex and things like that. You're going to see some
Uh,
higher end shops right
okay.
there, but then you can also find a little bit of everything. So I think it's really cool that, it's one of those destinations that kind of offers something for everyone, and especially how there's 4 different mountains you can ski at in Aspen. So they actually call it technically Aspen Snowmass. So Snowmass is one of the bigger mountains in the area, and it actually has its own little downtown area as well. And that, to me, Snowmass feels a little bit more like a traditional, mountain ski village where you've got like right at the base, you've got the gondola and a couple restaurants and shops and things like that. But then over in Aspen, you're right at the base of Aspen Mountain. So you've got downtown right there with a few hotels that are, walkable to the gondola. And you've got a little more of that downtown feel. So a little bit more of a buzz, a little bit of an older crowd. I didn't see quite as many kids and families and things in downtown Aspen. That's not to say that they're not there. It just, it feels, it's a little bit more of a party scene, a little bit more upbeat, lots of shopping, lots of restaurants and things like that. But yeah, you can ski. So when you get by a ski pass, you can ski all 4 of the mountains. You've got Aspen Mountain, Snowmass, and then they also have another mountain called Aspen Highlands and one called Buttermilk. All 4 offer a wide range of like terrain from, easy beginner stuff to, your double black diamonds, which I was nowhere even close to attempting. But yeah, it definitely has, something for everyone. I would definitely see more like families and, maybe some young, like people with younger kids. I would probably gear more towards the Snowmass area, and then Aspen maybe, more for couples or adults or things like that. But again, totally open to any types of clients going to that area.
I'm laughing because that just made me think of, I just sent it to some of my most recent clients that went on a ski trip. They went to Whistler and I sent them this video of Will Ferrell was being interviewed by somebody, but he was like joking. He's like, I'm a forever like intermediate skier. And I just
Yeah.
totally related to that. He's like, you're not going to find me on any trails with like the devil's cackle or anything like that. I was dying laughing because I was like, that's me. I'm like a solid like blue. Like I'm not
Yes.
gonna do anything crazy.
Yeah, there was actually one time where it was like our last day, and I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm a solid blue, but like I can crush a good green. Like that is like where I'm like
I'll tear up a green.
Yes. And then a blue if I'm like, I'm feeling energetic. But there was one, it was our last day, and I was skiing by myself because my friend that was with me was still taking snowboarding lessons. So I went up to the top and I was like, all right, last day, like we're going all out, let's go all the way to the top. So I did, a couple different lifts to get all the way to the top of the mountain, and didn't realize that, I saw a blue on the map. So I was like, all right, I'll be cool. Like I'll get up there, I'll take the blue down. But apparently when you get up there, there's like not very many, I didn't see very many signs, or maybe I just like wasn't paying attention. And it was like late in the day, so the ski patrol was already like, telling people, like kind of pushing people down, and I was by myself, so I'm like, oh shoot. So I just started following the other people, right? Like not really knowing like
Molly.
where I was going. I was like, this is probably the blue run. Like, I'm assuming this is it definitely was not. If it was the world's hardest blue run ever. But I got up there and I was like, oh shoot. So I took my sweet time and just went back and forth and, French fried my way all the way down to the bottom, and
I would have been doing
it. And that was
all the way down.
that was a good, I was like, oh, I can't pizza in front of all these people because they're really good at skiing and they're going to know that I'm a newbie. But yeah, so I made it down and it was all good and fine, and, no injuries that week. But yeah, so needless to say, they have that expert terrain if that's you, but they also have plenty of greens for those who need that.
Or those of you like me.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that sounds cool.
Yes.
I want to go to Aspen. I've never been. I've skied in some cool places, but never Aspen. So it's on my list. What hotels did you see while you were there?
So the first couple days we stayed kind of near the downtown area. So the first hotel I saw was called the Little Nell. And it's amazing. It's ski in, ski out. So you're right at the heart of downtown and right at the base of Aspen Mountain. So you literally walk out the hotel and get on the gondola. So location is absolutely prime. It's, super walkable to everything else downtown, all the restaurants and all that stuff. Has a really cool bar that sits, between the hotel and the gondola. So, literally you could stay right there and not need anything else. We went there on our first day and had lunch and did like the après ski, like happy hour, right there. Even though we hadn't actually skied, we were like, we'll just jump in right here at the après time. And it was so cool. You're literally watching people ski in on their last couple runs, and they've got this big like Veuve Clicquot like champagne bar, and it was really cool. And the hotel itself is 5-star, 5-diamond, super luxurious, very, very beautiful. The rooms were amazing. The food was incredible. They're actually, the sales manager I was talking to is telling me about their wine collection. And that's something they take a ton of pride in. So they have like a really amazing wine list and food. And so if, food and beverage is a big thing for you, I would definitely recommend checking out that hotel.
Nice.
And yeah, it's like I said, it's, right in a great location. If you want to be right in the middle of the hustle and bustle, you want that ski in, ski out convenience. Yeah, so highly recommend.
Yeah. Last night or was it last night or the night before? When we were at dinner, you and I were at opposite ends of the table. So I didn't even tell you this, but they were asking how your ski trip went. And I was like, I haven't even talked to her yet about the hotels. And, they were like, did she see the Little Nell? Like that was
Yeah.
the one that everyone was like, all of the other travel agents were talking about. And I was like, yeah, she saw the Little Nell. I can't wait to hear about it.
Yes. Oh, it was so awesome. And it's actually recognized by, I'm gonna probably butcher the pronunciation of this, but Relais and Chateau.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, okay. So I was like, not very good with pronunciations, but Relais and Chateau, recognizes some of the top luxury hotels and in the world. And so to have that, kind of recognition is a really big thing too. And yeah, I mean, it's just got a really cool boutique vibe, but lots of things going on, very, buzzy lobby restaurant area. So yeah, definitely recommend that one. And then the next day we went over to the Hotel Jerome, which is another just absolutely amazing place. So it's also right downtown. It's not technically ski in, ski out. So it is truly in the heart of town, but I mean, you're literally a couple of blocks, like everything's so close. So,
Yeah.
and they'll take you wherever you need to go to the different mountains and all of that stuff. But the hotel is just so special because it's really historic. It was built in like I think 1889. And it was the first hotel in Aspen. I think one of the first hotels, in the area at all. And
Cool.
it's just, they've done such a good job of like keeping a lot of the history intact, and they're using a lot of the same like decor and a lot of the main like big furniture pieces they've kept and maybe used for a different purpose, but you can still see like so much of the history that's there. And the main hotel, when you walk in the lobby, is what that's the area that was the traditional old hotel. And so you can actually see if you look up, you can actually like kind of see where the old room windows were. So there's these little like openings in the brick where you can see like where the old hotel like windows were. And where the girls that were taking me around were kind of giving me all the history of it. And
Yeah.
were showing me like where the ladies used to sit in the parlor while their husbands were back in the cigar room with the men, drinking
I freaking
brandy
love that
and
stuff.
all of that. And it's true, like it literally, you feel like you go back in time when you
Oh,
walk in
so
there. And
cool.
it's just so like cozy, and there's this big fireplace right in the middle. And it just has this old like rustic, like very historic feel to it. And so if travelers who love to like feel like they are in a different place, when they go somewhere, they want to go stay somewhere that's truly unique to the destination and has a lot of that history, I definitely recommend Jerome. It was so cool, and it has a very famous bar called the J Bar that's right adjacent to the hotel. And we went in and had drinks one night for my friend's birthday, and it was just very cool. Like you can just tell that it's a big local hub. Like a lot of the locals that live in Aspen, will go downtown and hang out at the J Bar. And it's one of those places you could definitely do some celeb sighting and all of that good stuff. So definitely recommend staying there. And if you're not staying there, you absolutely should go check out the bar.
Nice. I love it. I remember you
Yeah.
texted me right after you saw that hotel and you were like, holy, that was amazing.
Yeah, I was like, this is like, I could stay here for the rest of my life. Like it was so cool. Just like felt like, you had just been like transported to, back in time, and it was just so cozy, and I just loved it. But yeah. And then what did I see after that? Oh, the third one I saw in town was called the Gant. And it was also really cool because it's right downtown, but it actually sits a little bit on the edge of town. So you're not quite in like the loud, hustle and bustle of everyone else that's, kind of in that main city center,
Right.
but you're also still very walkable to everything. And they obviously offer a shuttle as well. So, you can get to where you need to be, but you do have a little bit more of a secluded feel. And the Gant, actually, all of the rooms are condo style. So they all come with like a full kitchen and a full living area. So it's really good for like, families or couples that maybe are traveling together that want to stay in the same area, and maybe want to do, cook some of their meals in, or just kind of have more of that common space and that condo feel.
Question.
Yes.
Did these hotels have locker rooms all in them?
Yes. So for like ski gear and all of that,
Yeah.
yes. So they will handle all of that stuff for you. So there's different, they'll have a lot of the hotels will have like a place right on site where they'll fit you for skis and boots and all of that kind of stuff. You can store your stuff there. They'll help transfer your stuff to different places. So that's, yeah, absolutely that
Yeah.
sort of like concierge service you're going to
What
find at
about
all of
like
these hotels.
when you're done skiing and you could like, is it in the hotel where, because what I'm asking is I've been at both. So I've been at like a ski in ski out property where like you literally like you come back to the hotel and you don't even go to your room. Like you go to like each room has a locker and you can just like strip down from like all your wet like snow gear and stuff into just like your like leggings and whatever it's called that you wear under all of your gear. And then you can like go up to your room. And that's always really nice. But if a hotel doesn't have that, I was going to say like the condo style is super appealing because then at least you have like a kitchen or like living room area that you can walk in and kind of like strip off all your gear. And when you're in like, when you've got no locker room and a smaller room, sometimes that can get really like messy and unorganized really
Tight.
quick.
Yeah, for sure. And like, if you've been skiing before, like there's a lot of clothes involved.
Yes.
So, I mean, even I was just there for a few days and I had this like massive suitcase and my stuff was just like thrown all over my friend's apartment. So, it's definitely nice to kind of have that extra space. And then again, just, sort of a common area for if you're with a group or your family, just to kind of hang out alone and not, necessarily have to like be in the lobby with other people, but to be able to kind of feel like, you're in your own little private apartment or condo.
Right.
And they're all independently owned. So it's cool because they're all, they all have the same layout and they're, size wise, they're all very similar, but they have their own, unique decor and things like that, the Gant definitely tries to keep everything pretty standard across the board, but the owners can put their own little twist on, however they want to upgrade the countertops and the decor and the flooring and all of that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool to see, they're all a little bit unique and different. And the way that the different, like categories work is for the owners to get to a certain level. So I think there were like maybe 3 or 4 different categories. And it's just based on when they've been remodeled, kind of the level of decor and, how new everything is as far as, flooring and bedding and countertops and all that kind of stuff. So, everything's kind of unique in that way. And that's kind of how they determine the different room categories. So it's great because even in an entry level room, I saw an entry level room and I was like, wait, this is the entry level? Like, this is amazing. So you can't go wrong with any of them. And they all are going to offer you that same amount of space. So that's really great just to know that like, you may not know exactly what the decor is going to look like, but you're going to have plenty of room. You're going to have that full kitchen and you're going to have that common area to kind of hang out. So,
Right. Like decorations aside, I'm here for the extra square footage with ski trips. It's so worth it. It's so worth it.
Absolutely.
So those are 3 really good hotels in Aspen to choose from. Did you see any in that Snowmass area? I feel like you did.
Yes. So again, Aspen, Snowmass, they're like, a few miles down the road from each other, but they do feel like kind of 2 separate areas, I guess you could say. And Snowmass has its own little mountain village at the bottom near the gondola at the base of the mountain. So has its own kind of slew of hotels and restaurants and shops and all of that. And I mean, honestly, you could just go to Snowmass and do your entire vacation, never leave Snowmass, and you would never be bored. I mean, the mountain's massive, and there's tons to do at the base and all of that. So it's really cool because you can truly just have your vacation there. You could just have your vacation in Aspen, or you could split your time all over the place. And So lots of options, but I did get to pop into the Limelight. They actually have a Limelight in Aspen and Snowmass. And the Limelight is actually managed, as well as the Little Nell, they're managed by Aspen Snowmass company. So Aspen manages the Little Nell, and they also manage both of the Limelight properties. So,
Okay.
that's kind of cool just to know that they're all like intertwined and they're being overseen by, some of the same people. But there's a Limelight in downtown Aspen that is currently going through some remodel. So I didn't have a chance to see it, but that's super exciting to know that there will be some, new like updates and things like that
Yeah.
for them later this year. And but I did get to see the Snowmass property, and it was awesome. I mean, Snowmass, I would say, is very family friendly, and the Limelight definitely highlights that. I mean, it sits like truly right at the base of the gondola, similar to the Little Nell and Aspen. It's right there in the middle of everything. It sits right in front of this little ice skating rink that I believe is free to the public. Don't quote me on that, but there's a little ice skating rink right in front of the entrance to the hotel. They were, roasting marshmallows and doing s'mores in the afternoon out there. There's a little hot tub right there too that, is part of the hotel. So lots to do in that little area. And then the hotel itself, I thought the coolest thing to me was, when you go in, they have this area that's totally dedicated to kids. And it was like, the biggest kids like playground I have ever seen. It was like this massive like arcade, and they had like video games and like, board games and all this kind of stuff, arcade games, like in this big area downstairs. They had a ball pit, which I thought was awesome.
So
And
cool.
they made a point to tell me that they empty the ball pit and clean each one of the individual balls twice a week. So if that's something that weirds you out, it is very clean. And there were just kids in there just like, I mean, having a field day. Like, it was so cool. And so it's downstairs. So the idea is you get in from skiing, you send your kids and teenagers down there. Mom and dad go up to the hotel lobby. There's live music. There's a bar and a restaurant, and hang out, have their pre-dinner cocktail or enjoy some music or hop in the hot tub or whatever. And your kids are entertained, mom and dad are entertained. So, you've got everything you could need right there. It's like a little built-in babysitter.
Nice.
But yeah, so definitely would, if I, was thinking somewhere for a family, that's a really great opportunity there, just to kind of be right in the middle of everything and have that, added entertainment for kids. And we also had a lot of connectable rooms as well. So again, for families, that's a really great way to kind
Yeah.
of keep everybody together. But
Yeah.
so that was really cool to see. And then the other one, I didn't have a chance to see the rooms, but I did pop my head into the Viceroy, which
Love that
is,
brand.
yeah, it's such a good brand across the board. So I was like, I definitely need to at least like run in there and have a drink and see it. And it's more of your traditional ski in, ski out. So we went over there for lunch one day, and I literally skied essentially up to the bar. I skied and then took my boots off and took about 4 steps and sat down at the pool bar, right next to, they've got a swimming pool, like a heated swimming pool, and 2 different, like a tiered hot tub thing that was really cool with like cabanas and all of that. And you've got your little ski shop right there that, the hotel handles all of that for you, the storage and everything. And so we popped in and had lunch right there by the pool, and it was just super fun. The food was amazing. I had a cheeseburger that was like probably one of the best burgers ever. And everything at the pool bar comes from the main restaurant. So, it's not like you're getting a quote like pool menu. It's just everything, it's all coming from the really nice restaurant inside. So all of the food is really, really great across the board. And then walked in and just kind of wandered around the lobby and saw the restaurant inside. And it's very beautiful. It's a very well done property. It definitely has a luxurious feel, and to me, it felt a little bit more quiet and, I don't want to say higher end because they're both really great properties, but It's a little bit quieter because it sits a little bit off to the side, so you're not quite in the middle of the downtown area, but it does have that ski in, ski out, added bonus if you're somebody that's definitely looking for more of that feel and wants to be close to the little town center right there, but just kind of a little bit off to the side, so you're a little bit more private. And they do have a shuttle that runs, all around the mountain village, so you can. I mean, I saw it all the time. So if you needed to pop over and get around or anything, you don't have to walk or ski. They have a shuttle that'll take you anywhere. So yeah,
Nice.
definitely recommend both of those if you're interested in snowmass.
Yeah, I'm glad that you went and just like popped your head in there, because can't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes I judge hotels based on just like their lobby area. Or at
Yeah,
least like when I
exactly.
go see them, I can kind of make up my mind. I'm like, I can tell I'm gonna like this one. Or like you just like, once you look at 100 of them, you kind of know. It would have been cool to see the rooms, but I'm glad you at least got to like go poke around in there.
Yeah, for sure. And there's so many great hotel options over there. I mean, if I had stayed for weeks, I would have, gone and spent more time at each of them and all of that. But I definitely think we hit some really good highlights. And next time when you and I go back, we'll have to do a full tour of the
Yeah.
Viceroy and go see the new Limelight in Aspen after it, after all the renovations and all of that good stuff. But yeah, definitely got to see some great options and some great variety.
That sounds so good. I hope that my husband doesn't listen to this, because he's been wanting to do a ski trip forever. And so now he's definitely going to want to go to Aspen for sure.
Yeah. Well, he is invited, that's for sure.
So you have spent some time in Colorado in the summer too, right?
Yes, I have. So I'm a little bit biased, but Colorado, I haven't seen all 50 of the states, but I'm pretty sure Colorado's my favorite at this point. I actually grew up going out there with my family in the summertime. So I had really spent more time there in the summer than I have in the winter. And, obviously I do love to ski, but if I had to choose, I think I would spend more summertime out there, just because that's, kind of what I got to do with my family. And that's where I learned to ride horses and fly fish and hike and all of that
So
good stuff. And
cool.
I know it was really cool. And I actually spent 2 summers working at a guest ranch. That's where, my family and I went to the same guest ranch every summer for a week. And, so it was like a second home to me by the time I got to college, and decided I wanted to spend 2 summers on staff. So I did that and, got to spend longer periods of time. And I was there for 3 months the first time and 5 months the second time. And so got to, take a lot of time seeing the surrounding areas and in our free time. I mean, we would just, go fishing or go hiking or ride horses or go check out a nearby town or go up to Denver and see a show at Red Rocks, and, just got to kind of explore the state as a whole. And, it just made me totally fall in love with it. And I think it's such a cool family vacation idea, because I mean, there's so many, obviously, like I love the ranch that I worked at. It was called the 4UR, down in Creed, Colorado. And there's so many great guest ranches in the area, just, that can offer that family experience where, like, everyone gets to maybe try something new or learn how to horseback ride or learn how to fish. And a lot of times, most of them will have like kids programs or kids counselors where, mom and dad may have, a free afternoon and the kids can go off with the kids counselor or hang out with the kids program, and mom and dad can go on a hike or, whatever. So it has a lot of these ranches have a lot to offer for the whole family, and just to kind of get to explore the mountains together and, kind of make those memories was so special to my family growing up. And so that's like one of my favorite things to sell to families is like, that kind of mountain western, ranch experience that, I fell in love with. And so it's so fun for me to talk to other people about it and, kind of share my experience there working and visiting, and then also, getting to explore around Colorado as a whole. Because I got to see, I mean, a lot of different national parks and, the city of Denver, obviously. And there's just so much variety and there's so many different things to do in Colorado. And obviously, you've got so many summer activities, and you've got tons of winter activities, and it's just a really cool state all around, in my opinion. Again, not biased, but
Clearly
definitely
not
one of
shooting.
my
Clearly not
clearly,
biased.
clearly not, but definitely one of my favorite places to visit and one of my favorite places to send clients.
I love it. I feel like we just like barely scratched the surface of all that it has to offer.
Yeah, it really, and it's like, you can do a combination of Denver and, go hit a ski town, or, go somewhere in the mountains that, has cute little towns that are off the beaten path that you would have never heard of. And there's just so many different, places to explore. And it's really fun. I love it.
Well, people, if any of this is sounding interesting to you at all, summer or winter, Aspen or anywhere in Colorado, obviously now you know who to call.
Yeah. Yes, we are here. Obviously, I love to talk about it. So hit me up if you have questions or want any more info about any of it. We are here to help.
Hey y'all, thanks so much for tuning in. I really hope that you loved what you heard today. And if you did, share it with a friend. Take a screenshot of this episode and send it to them so that they can listen in too. Or post it to your Instagram story and tag us at BeTheTravelgram. Or write a comment below and let us know what you think. Your support means the whole big, beautiful world to Be The Travel. And until next time, happy travels.